Here's our LG front load washing machine. Unit is about 10 years old, having an issue where the water stays on during the whole duration of the wash cycles, even on the spin cycle. So here you go, when it's filling up the washing machine, you should hear the water turn on and off a handful of times, but in my case the water was just staying on. Start by removing the lower screw on each one of these tabs. This will allow the lid to slide back to where you can pop it up and remove it. Skip the step. Go ahead and unplug your washing machine. Turn off your water supply lines. And then start backing out these fittings on back of the washing machine. Go ahead and grab yourself a towel to keep things dry. Back out these 4 screws that are holding the water manifold. Now your water inlet valves are free. We're going to go ahead and remove the 4 electrical clips that are plugged in. Be sure you notate where they are positioned. They're going to be installed on the new valve in the same order. Alright, now we're going to slide all these hose clamps back a couple inches. I'm about to show you the new 4-way valve. It is an LG component, which is OEM of this equipment. I could have went on Amazon and bought a $25 knockoff, but knowing that this valve controls how much water is fed, failure of this component could cause your house to flood or cause a larger water bill. So I spent $100 on this valve, and I figured I would support local small business, and picked it up myself.
Yeah, but we can't have bubbles inside the house.
Taking off the last of the hoses, I will be installing those on the new valve now. Be sure all the hoses are installed back in the order they were taken off. If not, they'll be feeding the wrong components in your washing machine. Here we're sliding all the hose clamps back on. The next thing we're going to do is put all the wire connections back on. Once again, be sure you put them back in the same order that they were removed. Next thing we're going to do is change out the hot water inlet valve. It's a single solenoid valve. So here I'm taking off the electrical connection, removing the hose clamp, removing the hose, and here's my new one-way valve. Once again, it's an LG component, which is OEM of the equipment. I probably paid around $20 for it. And now I'm going to go back together with it, connecting the hose, putting the clamp on, and then putting my electrical connection back on. I'm going to put these 4 screws back in. Next thing I'm going to show you is the water pressure switch. This is what tells these water inlet valves how long to stay on during the wash cycle. In my case, I wanted more water. So at the top of this pressure switch, there's some red wax. Once you break that seal, you're going to stick a flathead screwdriver in. Here goes the pressure switch. And you're going to, in my case, I turned it 2 full clockwise rotations, and that gave me what I needed. This hose feeds that pressure switch. If there's any chafing or punctures to that hose, it's going to tell that pressure switch to stay open, and it's going to keep feeding and washing machine water, and that's going to end up with a similar symptom to what I originally had, but in my case that wasn't the issue. So here I'm gonna go ahead and buckle everything up in the back, put my hoses back on, tighten those up. I'm gonna go ahead and plug everything back in and turn on the water.